Okay, so I will talk about the other stuff with my sister in another story time, but that's just, she brought it up, so that was part of that. And then so notice when I said your sister gave her child away, then lied about it. That's who you should really be trying to get together. She said so, meaning, and bitch whatever, right? Okay, so I said bring it on, honey, in reference to her saying I'm gonna get sued or whatever. And she said him coming for you, and I said you could really benefit from some education. um and so that was on March 20th, right? So let me go back to my. Okay, so also on March 20th, I got messages from Angel that Lucius was sending her about my grandmother. Lucius is my grandmother's youngest son. Uh so he was sending her messages, which I went on live uh I think on the that night with his messages or whatever. The lives about him went up on YouTube the next day on the 21st. But I went live with the messages because she screen recorded them and sent them to me. And I air his shit out because I didn't mention him really, but except for the fact that he was living there and he wasn't helping his mama out like that or whatever. But he was saying all this kind of shit. And so hold on, I gotta see where Angel sent me the stuff at. Be right back. Okay, so Lucius was texting Angel talking about some nobody is talking for her. She told the police 3 times herself. Angel said police. He said she wants to press charges for her hitting her. Angel said what the fuck. He said yeah, I don't know. She said Lil G never hit her. He said I don't know what to think about it, to be honest. How do you know that for a fact? Money will change people. Now mind you, I keep telling y'all that these people will tell on themselves and talk over talk because they think they so smart. He's literally saying money will change people. Literally, it's changing you. You in on this shit. You was there all these times, a majority of the times that Lil G came over there and took care of y'all mama. When you sitting in the room, won't clean up and having bitches come over to the house that your mama don't want there, you taking her money, like her change when you go to the store for her, claiming you got robbed, or when you do get into it with niggas, you calling Lil G to come to your rescue, like, and you in the room, you won't even come out and empty the bucket that your mama have to use to go to the bathroom, like. So anyway, and then he also said Mia didn't tell you anything about mom's will. We ain't know nothing about a will, nothing about no will, but he did. He talking about it. uh then he said because she keeps saying Mia knows what to do. She was saying that way before she had her stroke about her will when her legs gave out. He said, I don't give a fuck about it. I just think that's what it could be about if it's true. She doesn't want anything to do with you because she knows that Lil G is supposedly lying to you about the truth. That don't even make sense. He said, I'm not saying that she is telling the truth. I'm not saying that she is lying, but mama never told me a lie about nothing like that before. All these people do is lie. The adults in our lives, all they did was lie to us and mistreat us. So I don't know what reality he lives in, but it's obviously not the real one. Then he said she is not crazy and she can swallow her food. That's why they removed her tube. First of all, she could not swallow her food like that. That's why she lost all that fucking weight, because she could not eat enough to retain the nutrients to keep herself alive, which is why she had the G tube in the first place. So Angel tells him, I'm at the hospital checking on my baby. I don't have time. And she said, but I can say you crazy because mom has lied about everything. Where have you been? Right? Then he says Lil G have as well. When mama could not talk, she was talking for her about her apartment. She always let me have company over and she threw my stuff out and got mom's locks changed. First of all, when the locks and stuff got changed on the apartments, Lil G didn't do that. That was Rolita. Rolita then went over there pretending to be my grandmother and got them people to change the locks on the apartment. Because during that time, they were trying to allow my sister Sunshine to go over there and stay because she needed somewhere to go. And I was like, that's not gonna work. Like, if my granny do go home, her and Sunshine do not even have a relationship. So how is Sunshine gonna care for a newborn baby and be taking care of our grandmother? Like, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work or whatever. And he talk about his mama let him have company all the time. He's flat out fucking lying. My granny did not want them girls over to her house. She did not. He said she let me have company over. She threw my stuff out. And when she said threw my stuff, let's talk about Lil G. Lil G removed his stuff or whatever after he tried to fight her and things like that, and he would not contribute to the light bill. And Lil G spoke for my grandmother in regards to her apartment because she wanted her to be able to have her apartment if she were able to come home from the nursing home, hospital, whatever, right? And she had the authority to do that, being power of attorney. So anyway, he said she got the locks changed. He said, I paid $400 for the bed I had in mom's apartment and $500 for the 60-inch smart TV they didn't let me get. Lil G is lying as well. I was there. She pretended to be mom to get me out of the apartment. That never happened. Lucius was still going into the apartment the whole time, even after the locks got changed. He broke in through a window. The apartment was completely destroyed. It was disgusting in there. He had a girl standing there with her baby. It was all kind of nastiness going on. Then he said, you don't know everything. You can't believe Lil G either. That's why I said I don't know what to believe. Angel said, you funny. He said, shaking my head, you should not hold grudges because mom didn't believe you about what happened to you in the past. You see how these motherfuckers steady bringing up our trauma and what we went through. What he's talking about is he's saying that their mom, my grandmother, didn't believe Angel about what Junior did to her because she's also one of the people that he violated, right? And then he said, we only have one mama. There they go with that bullshit again. And he said, and she is dying. Mind you, he saw her in person. He saw her. So he know what she looked like. So then she say, okay, and why you bringing it up? I'm not holding no grudge. She said, I was going to go see mama. You don't know shit. He said, because you in denial about what Lil G did to me. He talking about being put out that apartment. But Lil G was like, if you gonna stay in your mom's apartment while she is in the hospital, you should be contributing. You should have been contributing before she even went to the hospital or to the nursing home, but you weren't because she was just taking care of her two grown-ass children, two grown-ass men. He said, it's not even about me. I can care less about my shit. That is not why I brought up that topic. She said, when did mama say somebody hit her? Did she say it today? He said, no, it was when she was at the old folks home. He said, Lil G even said there was a cam in there and it wasn't even one in there. I've been there plenty of times. He ain't been there no plenty of fucking times, and there was a camera in there. I have proof of that also. He said her radio and TV was there even though they had a TV in the room. Mind you, the nursing home supplied the TV, but I told y'all Lil G would go and buy stuff for her mama so she would have her own stuff. So he said even though it was a TV in her room, yes, because Lil G brought her a TV and a DVD player and a radio and DVDs and nightgowns and all kind of shit with her own money. He said they have no cameras in the room with the patients there. That's why Lil G bought one, to protect her mama and to protect the workers and to protect herself against false allegations. And he said, no, nor was mom cam in there. Sounds suspicious to me. I'm just saying. Angel said, did you ever read the sign going in the room? And then he said, because why lie to me and say there was a cam in there? I didn't argue with Lil G. I just listened. And then Angel sent him footage from the camera, right? And then he said they don't have cams in there for privacy reasons, only in the hallway. He said, do not believe that, Angel. That was not in there when I was visiting her. It's not clear enough anyway. You can't even make out faces. It's very clear. I have proof. So she sends him multiple videos. He said, I can't even see what is on her dresser, even if it was one in there. But it's funny to me how he's trying to come in here and say that Lil G is lying, and he's getting hardcore proof and he's still denying it because he's trying to cover the tracks of what they did. To be continued.